If the factory flares on your 2009 to 2014 F-150 are either scratched, faded, or damaged, then you might want to look into these affordable replacements. Now, this set of 4 flares will only apply to the trucks that are equipped with those factory flares and will feature the durable black plastic build, offered just south of $200 for all 4. Now, since these are intended to be a factory replacement, the install should be pretty much drama-free, so figure a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter and maybe a couple of hours to complete from start to finish. But if you hang with me for a little bit, we'll show you how it's done later in the video. So again, these are going to appeal to those 09 to 14 truck owners out there whose F-150 did come equipped with the stock or factory low-profile flares and are just simply looking for an affordable replacement to freshen things up. Now, with that said, we do get questions such as, well, what if my truck didn't come equipped with these flares? Can I still install them? And honestly, yes, you probably could, but at that point, it's a lot of custom work, there will be some drilling involved, and we can't guarantee fitment on those trucks. Now, if that is the case and your truck did not come equipped with these flares from the factory, but you really like the look, my suggestion to you, check out the product page, check out the site at americantrucks.com. We have a ton of fender flare options for trucks that did not come equipped with these style of flares. But with all that out of the way, let's get into things a little bit more here. And on the surface, guys, you can see things are a bit understated, as you would expect with a factory or OE style part. Now, because of that, don't go expecting a ton of extra coverage for a lower offset like you would with a pocket style flare. And obviously don't expect a very aggressive look here with these installed. Instead, subtle is the perfect way to sum things up here. Now, material-wise, well, you are looking at a lightweight yet very durable polypropylene, which is essentially plastic, but a material that can hold up to a few hits on the trail or off-road, or heck, even a few shopping carts in your local parking lot. Now, your width from top to bottom is essentially 2, maybe 2.5 inches here, and the texture is pretty much what you'd expect to see out of your factory flares, and that is very fine texture, not very rough at all, and they are finished off in matte black. Now, the site is also quick to point out that these guys are paintable if you prefer a more consistent look. They would just require a little bit more prep work and primer, but that is something that you can do if you desire. But now we want to show you just what it takes to get the flares installed on your F-150 at home. So without further ado, here's that detailed walkthrough we promised you, in addition to a quick tool breakdown.
Tools used for this install are a clip removal tool with a protective sleeve, a ratchet or impact, a 10mm socket, a microfiber cloth, and some detail spray or cleaning spray. So the first thing we're going to need to do for this install is remove our old faded fender flares to make room for our fresh new ones. I'm going to be using really basic hand tools, and it's a very simple process, and I'm going to walk you through it. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is use my 10mm socket to remove these 2 10mm nuts on the back of the fender flare. And I just have that on my ratchet, and I'll pull those out, and then I can get started with the clips. Next thing I'm going to do is use my clip tool to remove the 5 clips located around the wheel arch. There's 2 in the front and 3 at the rear. So I have all the hardware removed from my OEM fender flare, and now I can start popping the clips that retain it to the fender itself. I'm going to use my clip tool that has a little rubber protective sleeve so I don't damage the body, and I'm going to work my way around to the clips and pop them off one at a time. As you can see, there's a lot of dirt that can build up behind these fender flares. So what I'm going to do now, and this is a great opportunity for you to do the same, is to take a little bit of detail spray and a rag and wipe off all this dirt before I install my new ones. So the installation for these new flares is very simple. You're just going to line up all of the little pop clips on the body as well as the bolt holes on the back of the flare. And once you have them lined up, you can start to press them down. And now you can reinstall your nuts and your push clips. Now I can just put in all my push clips and then move on to the other side. Now I can reinstall my 10mm nuts and move on to the other side. Once again, these are a little bit hard to see here, but I'm just going to reinstall my 10mm nuts and tighten them down with a 10 socket. Once I've got my front flares on, I can move on to the rear. These are held on very similarly to the front. In this case, I'm gonna have a 10mm bolt on either end of the flare, as well as 4 clips that go around the inner arch. So I'm gonna use my 10mm socket, I'm gonna pull the 2 bolts, my clip tool to remove the clips, and then I'm gonna pull this off just the same way as I did in the front. So I have all my clips and bolts removed from my fender flare, and now I can take my clip removal tool that has the protective sleeve on it to work my way around the fender flare to pop off the retaining clips that are holding it to the body. Just like I did in the front, I'm going to take this opportunity now that I have my fender flare off to clean up the body before I install my new one. Line up the clips and install your new flare. Now that I have that clipped into place, I can reinstall my bolts and my push clips. And that's going to wrap up this review and install of the OE replacement fender flare fitting your 2009 to 2014 style side F-150. Thanks for watching, and for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.